Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and in this episode we are looking at the Konosuke laser line. This is their white number 2 Nakiri 170mm knife. The core steel in this is Shidogami or white paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi. They take the heat treat to around 61 to 62 Rockwell, so kind of good, kind of medium hard heat treat on it. The construction is mono steel, so there's no cladding, no layers. It's all one material. And the weight on it, these are pretty light. It is their laser class. It's not the Fujiyama class. So these are thin, high-performance knives. And every once in a while, Mark will get some of the white number 2s in. So this is kind of a really cool knife. The weight is 134 grams or 4.7 ounces, so it's light and flickable. The edge length is about 170, which is basically the whole length, plus maybe I use a little bit of that tip, that curved tip, to kind of put that in there. Overall length, about 320 millimeters or 12.6 inches from the end of the top of the handle, or excuse me, the blade to the end of the handle. And then again, this is their laser class, so it's about 2.1 millimeter thickness on the spine, and it pretty much just holds that, and even thins down slightly off of that, but pretty much just holds that throughout to the end of the blade. And blade has a little bit of flex to it, but it's surprisingly stiff, given that it's so thin. Blade height is 49.7 millimeters at the back of the heel. And then the handle is just, excuse me, kind of a no-frills, octagonal, lightweight hoe-wood handle with a buffalo horn ferrule with a nice polish to it. Nice handle install. Standard kind of size handle for this style knife, about 75 millimeters to 3-inch circumference, where the ferrule meets the wood. A little bit of a step here between the wood and the buffalo horn ferrule. It doesn't bother me, but you know, if it bothers you, you could sand it down, protect the ferrule with some tape or something. The handle is light, so that brings the balance point, even though it's a laser, up to kind of close to a pinch grip, which makes it a very neutral feel. So you don't have a lot of like real heavy weight forward chopping power. It's more of a finesse knife, and just has a real light, very nimble feel to it. And it's thin, so it goes through product extremely well. Very thin at the edge. Out of the box edge can be kind of all over the map with Konosuke knives, so this one has, I'd say it's about a 5 out of 10, but you'll probably want to put your own sharpening job on these. It's kind of what you do with them, so I wouldn't count on them, you know, having fantastic out-of-the-box edges. They're just kind of, they just put an edge on it and kind of expect you to put your own edge on it. Let's look at the finish. It's a machine finish. You can see it's vertically arranged on the abrasive, that probably I guess belts that they used. And it doesn't have an embossed kanji where it's indented in the metal. It is screened on this model. So whatever process they use for that. So it's a little different than some of their knives. But fit and finish is excellent. Nice polished and rounded spine, choil. It's just, you know, excellent fit and finish all the way around per their standard. Let's take a look at it on our cutting board. So keep in mind this is an all-reactive blade, so it will patina nicely, but you got to keep it dry when you're done with it and not let it sit wet. So here's your profile. And it's pretty flat overall. This is one of the flatter Nakiri profiles. They do that with their knives. And so this is an excellent chopper. Trying to get my camera to focus here. So I'm going to cut my finger off. It's an excellent chopper. Not too much rocking, although at the tip you can rock a little bit because of that rounded tip. So, but excellent, excellent chopper if that's what you're looking for in a Nakiri. So this is light. Good performer, really excellent performer. Easy to sharpen. Shidogami number 2. So this is the Konosuke laser white number 2 Nakiri 170mm knife.